Number 7.
This happened when I was young, around 4 years old. And to give a more accurate picture, my family is Asian. So, it was dinner time and I was eating my rice when I hear a series of loud footsteps rushing down the stairs. My grandma appeared on the stairs and threw a wadded piece of paper at my face. I went and chased her up the stairs, but she made it up first and turned right into my parents' room. I saw her running into the room, the lights were off, and she turned left going into the bathroom there, but before she turned, she waved at me with an eerie smile. I turned around and looked directly into my grandma's room, which was to the left of the stairs. And there she was, sitting there singing Buddhist chants with a TV on cartoons. It's the only thing she can watch because she can't speak English. Now, since it was so long ago, it seemed like a dream, but this part here is very clear and vivid in my memory, so I knew it had to be true. I talked to her in Vietnamese and told her I just saw her run into the other room. She denied it and told me she had been sitting in her room the whole time. To this day, I've never been able to figure out who that was until several years later when I read about doppelgangers, but I'm still unsure what exactly it was. As a side note, my grandma is currently 90 now and has mild schizophrenia. She believes she can see ghosts or monsters.
Number 6.
I went to high school with a girl named Miranda. She was a nice person, always willing to help out a classmate, and she was perpetually happy. I borrowed her notes a few times in English when I'd been absent. We talked a few times. We're friends, but not close friends, and after high school we drifted apart. Fast forward 2 years. I'm shopping in the mall a few hours away from my hometown and I see Miranda. I call out to her name and she looks and waves. I go to where she's standing and ask her how she's been. She answers but gives me a puzzled look. We talk for a while and we both come to the conclusion that she is not the Miranda that I went to school with. In fact, she went to school here in this city. I explained to her how much she looked like my friend. So much, right down to the freckle on her eye. But alas, her mother verified who she was and the fact that her last name was very different. Also, my Miranda's mom worked at the school and this was not her. She even showed me her ID because I was so perplexed. After I got home, I Facebooked Miranda and told her what had happened. Lo and behold, the same type of thing happened to her. A guy claiming he swears they dated.
Number 5.
For the past 3 years, I've been dating an amazing girl, and in all seriousness, I've found her doppelganger or clone. She does have a twin sister, but this isn't about her. This is about a girl who has the same first name as her, looks just like her, acts almost exactly like her with minor differences, same interests, and creepily both of their dads died the same month, but there's a 5-day difference. When I first met my girlfriend, I thought there was nobody else like her. She was unique, my one and only, until I met, let's call her Jane. Same name, looks exactly like her. I first heard about her last year when I was talking to my friend about my girlfriend who doesn't go to the same school as me, and he looked at me with a surprised look on his face. I didn't know you were dating Jane. She's hella cool. Wait, how does he know Jane? It all started when I was talking about how Jane was my inspiration to do some cross-country for school, and how I was disappointed that she broke her leg sometime during practice, and my friend mentioned how Jane from our school broke her leg the same time as well. It was creepy, but I shrugged it off and forgot about it until I was looking through our yearbook and thought I saw my Jane. I pointed it out to my friend, looked at the name and saw it was the Jane my friend was talking about. I never saw her during track season in our school last year, but when cross country started this year, I had to do a double take. My girlfriend was all the way in the East Coast for college, but I see her right here in front of me. I guess I looked really creepy making quick glances at Jane, but I couldn't help it. She became my friend quickly and was almost exactly like my girlfriend, except a little more shy and competitive. Had the same type of family, too. 2 other siblings, 1 mom. Today I was looking through some old newspapers and saw the obituary section, and it was for the month when my girlfriend's father died. I saw his name 2 times on it, but different dates. I realized that it was Jane from school's dad and my girlfriend's dad, except a 5-day difference. I'm literally creeped out right now because their lives are almost the same and they look exactly like each other. I wonder if there's a scientific reason for things like this.
Number 4.
I don't remember what day it was, but it was around late September last year at 10 p.m. My girlfriend and her roommates came to my town for a convention. We hung out, and when it was over, they piled into a car and took off back home. Soon, as I'm walking back to my room, someone turns the corner and almost bumps into me. I'm about to apologize before I see that it's the roommate who's driving them all home, who 5 minutes earlier left. There's no way I was mistaking someone else for her, because she had come to the convention in a ridiculous costume for an anime. This person had on the same outfit and the exact same face. The mystery person walks off without saying anything to me. At this point, I thought it was her and she was just being rude, so I called my girlfriend to hang out before they really left. She tells me they were on the highway, so it couldn't have been her.
Number 3.
Last year, one day, I was chilling at home when I get an angry text from my older brother. We have not had a fight or anything in years, so this was very much out of the ordinary, so it really shocked me. It said, "Why are you being a bitch?" or something along those lines. I text him back saying, "What are you talking about?" He replied with, "Ignoring me." Exchanging more confusing texts, he ends up saying, "If you are not in Pizza Hut, then I've just seen your doppelganger." And he left it there without apologizing or anything. He worked there at the time and was apparently waving at me and trying to get my attention. Whenever I went there to eat, I'd always look out for him in the kitchen area. When I asked him about it when I saw him, he acknowledged it, said I was wearing my clothes, everything, then changed the subject swiftly. He does not think these kinds of things can exist. He's very rational and scientific. I was really freaked out about it for some time after, personally knowing there's no way my blood brother, who I have grown up with, could mistake me for someone else, and be so sure about it that he sent me nasty texts. And when he realized I was telling the truth that I was at home, he didn't want to discuss it any further. Freaky.
Number 2.
In 1999, a couple years after college graduation, my college friends and I gathered at our newly friend couple's new house for a housewarming party. We were all drinking, socially, not excessively, and we were all planning on driving home. One of my friends, I will call her Jane, and I were sitting out on the deck of the house smoking cigarettes, while everyone else, about 10 people or so, were in the finished basement of the house at the bar. All of a sudden, the smoke detector starts shrieking. I turn and face the house from the deck and see smoke inside filling the kitchen through the sliding glass doors. I see our friend, we'll call Liz, run up from the basement, turn back to the stairs, and scream down to the rest of them that the house was on fire. At that moment, I look to my left, and 2 more friends, who we'll call Jimmy and Rob, were rounding the house toward the deck, and Rob had a fire extinguisher in his hand. I looked back toward the house and opened the sliding door and yelled for them to hurry and get out, and everyone filed quickly up the steps, with Jimmy and Rob trailing. I was confused. We did a head count, everyone was out, fire trucks were arriving. when Jane starts to get upset and insists that she saw Jimmy and Rob running toward us on the deck with a fire extinguisher and that they couldn't have been in the basement with the rest. I insist I saw the same, and everyone else thinks we were bogarting the shrooms.
Number 1.
Alright, one of my old co-workers told me this story, and it's one of my favorites to share with others, so I thought I'd leave it here for all ya. My co-worker Anna used to live in a house with a friend and a friend's husband. She lived on the first floor while the couple lived upstairs. They had some basic paranormal stuff going on, hearing footsteps walking around, doors opening, the basement door swung open, so often that it just kind of became a joke to them. One night, Anna stayed out with some friends and didn't come back until the next morning. Her roommate came downstairs sometime later and said, "Are you mad at me?" Anna was like, "No, why?" The roommate replied, "Last night I was trying to talk to you and you just stood at the bottom of the stairs and glared at me." Anna stared at her and said, "I wasn't home last night." The roommate burst into tears. Whoever she had talked to, it definitely was not Anna. Greetings, fellow beings. Thanks for watching my video, my first video actually. If you liked it, leave a like, and if you want to hear more, then don't forget to subscribe. I don't know how often I plan on uploading, at least once a week to start, but I have a lot going on, so I'll try to do the best I can. Until next time, be aware and keep your eyes open.